Hi, this is Kimberly Wyse, and I am here to talk to you today a little bit about anxiety. I was scrolling through social media a while back and I saw this meme that said, I came, I saw, I had anxiety, so I left. Really? My fingers flew over the keyboard as I went to write. No. When you get anxiety, you don't leave. You tell anxiety to leave. But it was social media, so I deleted that and kept on scrolling. But I can't stop thinking about it. Left. I struggle with anxiety. I've had anxiety all my life. I actually don't really remember a day when I wasn't afraid. There have been times when anxiety has been so crippling that I thought I was actually going to have a stroke because the blood was pounding in my ears and I was seeing spots. I've had digestive distress, twitching eyes, acid reflux, crying, uncontrollable shaking, dry mouth, you name it, I've had it. But do you know what I've not done? Leave. Anxiety slowed me down. It has hurt me, but running away has never been a viable option. 2 Timothy 1:7 says, "For God has not given me a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." Paul is referring to the fear that might happen when we stir up the gift of God that's within us. And Timothy must have been facing that fear of walking boldly into the calling that God had for him. And Paul reminds him, hey, that's not from the Lord. One of the greatest fears I face raises its ugly head whenever I try to do anything to promote my book or my speaking ministry. My fear that comes to me is that this is all about me, and I so fear that it will cripple me. However, I believe with all my heart that writing that book and telling our story brings glory to God's name. And that crippling fear that tries to overwhelm me says it's all about me. It lies to me about who gets the glory from the work that I do. But if it's all about me, I can promise you that I'm going to go curl up in the corner in my pajamas and watch Netflix all day and snuggle with my kids. I'm not going to write a book and put myself out there like that. But to bring glory to God, I would do just about anything. I'll follow where He leads. Anxiety tries to tell me to go home. Anxiety says, why expose yourself to ridicule, disappointment, and criticism? Just be comfortable in your sweats on the couch. Anxiety says this is too hard. But what does God say? John 12:27 and 28, quoting Jesus, says, "Now my soul is troubled, and what shall I say? Should I ask God to save me from what's to come? The answer is a resounding no." What Jesus actually says is, no, now my soul is troubled, and what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour? No, it was for this very reason I came to this hour. Father, glorify your name. Jesus did not want to die a horrible and torturous death on the cross. He didn't. He knew it was coming, and he wasn't excited about it. He was going to feel all of the pain that any of us would have felt in the same situation. So he is asking, should I ask God to take this away from me? Should I ask him to change things? No. This is why I'm here, to bring glory to the name of God. All Christians have the same calling. It's to bring glory to God's name. We have all been given unique gifts in order to accomplish that goal, but the goal is always the same. We are to bring glory to God's name. How will we do that if we let anxiety so cripple us that we go home every time we're afraid? But we whine to God, I'm uncomfortable, I don't like it. I do too. Jesus wasn't comfortable when he was crucified on the cross. He wasn't comfortable during his 40-day fast. He wasn't comfortable being the son of a girl who said she was a virgin. What about Jesus' life was in the least bit comfortable? Why do we so easily believe that if we're living a life to serve God, that we're going to be comfortable and things are going to be easy? So I want to challenge you today to join me with a pounding heart and shaking hands, with a dry throat and an upset stomach, as we boldly proclaim that anxiety will not send us home today. We will do what God has called us to do, even when we are afraid. We will go after the things that are much too great for us, because that's what God's called us to do. There may be times that we are so tired and exhausted that we can barely stand up. But if this is the reason that God sent us to this earth, to bring glory to his name through our current circumstances, then we will stand there. Now, will you join me? Anxiety is not going to send us home. In conclusion, I do want to state that there is a healthy form of fear that comes when we're involved in sin and headed in the wrong direction, and fear will come and let us know, hey, don't do that. That's not the fear I'm talking about today. That's not the anxiety I'm referring to. I'm talking about the kind that tells us to go home instead of walking boldly into the calling that God has placed on our hearts.